to actually what is my favourite film of yours is The Way Back. I watched it obviously very recently. It came out in 2020. It's a drama about a recovering alcoholic. Ben Affleck stars in it, and he coaches his ex-high school basketball team. And I think the big question for me is well, the first one is obviously Gavin O'Connor directs it. He's very known for his sporting dramas. Warrior is one of the best sporting dramas of this century, and it's an amazing film. So, were you excited to work with him? Because obviously, I don't know if you're in sport or whatever, but it'd be something I'd be massively excited to work with someone who's so known for sporting dramas.
So yes, I mean it's a combination. I think it was like again, it was actually Joel who introduced me to Gavin. Because Joel had done.
I was going to ask that. Was it Joel who? Because obviously he starred in Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, and Gavin was like, oh, he was looking for a DP for this movie, and I've never been a huge fan of sports dramas. It's never been like my thing. I watch them, but it's not the kind of. But when I read the script, I saw that it was like a potential of something, and I also, really like Gavin's vision, aesthetically, and he's obsessed about capturing life, capturing pieces of reality that they ring true, and we had a great meeting and we hit it up, and it's a completely different style of what I've done. It's maybe a bit more similar to Suffragette or something, but it's like it's very different from Boy Erased. It's actually much the opposite, but it's also that's what I like about being a filmmaker and being trying to tell the stories in different ways, and working with different people and getting different stuff. I don't want to do all the time the same thing. You get bored. So but yeah, I mean, it's like I have huge respect for Gavin. He's done amazing films, and I thought also I could bring something to it. I could bring, it's a very American story and a very, but I could also, bring some, some a bit more of an European taste on things, and a bit more, less, less American Warner Bros. Movie, which is what it is. Ben Affleck. And what I'm proud of, what we did is that it's like this movie could have been, had a lot of elements to be that could have been a very cheesy, fake, bright and average movie, and suddenly with what we did visually, the way we shot it with the camera, with the light, it completely becomes something else. Which it was more in tone with the 70s look, with the and using the darkness and the light and the camera and the framing and the handheld and the grain in ways that they create something that that I like what we did. I think we did something that it looks what it needed the movie to look, and to deviate it from that Hollywood glossy look that I really didn't want to do.
I agree, and it seemed like everybody was on. Not seem like it. You can clearly tell that it's not, as you said, that glossy Hollywood style, and that's very from the films that I've seen Ben Affleck in. It's very different. But I read up a lot how this movie is very deeply personal to Ben Affleck, and it seems like the vision between you, Gavin O'Connor, Ben Affleck was all on the same page because of how personal it was to Ben Affleck, who I think for me it probably is my favorite film that I've ever seen him in terms of an acting role. I thought he was actually really superb in this film, and it seemed like everything works in a very good tandem.
Agree that Ben was also a surprise for the crew. We've seen him so much in those kind of roles throughout his career, that suddenly seeing him in a lot more a lot more broken hard, but but I also think that there is the kind of different moods and challenges he faces in acting are incredible. He sometimes he's always witty and interesting and likable. That's a
Mm.
great skill for an actor to have, probably one
Hmm.
of the best. So he's always had that. You like him,
Yeah.
but he can be in the movie, can be really sad, can be angry, can be furious, but also can be subtle, can be
Mm.
funny, and it's like can be sexy and seductive. So
Mm.
it's like it's kind of it's a very great role, and I think he
Mm.
did very well playing it. I think I agree that it's one of the most interesting in his career. And
Mm.
the wish was to that maybe he could go all the way to the awards. I mean, he was unlucky with the pandemic and the release that
Yeah.
it just suddenly just like but he's out there. I think he's one of the great performances of 2020, and I don't know if it's going to be recognized, but it's
Mm.
like it's surprising. And I think again there's a lot of stereotypes or
Yeah.
preconceived ideas of what Ben Affleck is, and I think
Mm.
and this movie breaks a lot of them. And I
Mm.
think I have huge respect for him as an actor. I think he is a true professional, and one of those, again, like Ryan, one of those
Mm.
actors that surprised me
Mm.
very greatly. And that's something I
Yeah.
really take home. That it's like never take for granted who that person or
Yeah.
that other. You just like there's always surprises to come. There
Yeah.
was like, and yeah, he was Ben Affleck as a star as he is, and as everyone knows, and they stars suffer that thing that's like that's always striking to me. That's like they walk into a room and suddenly everyone is looking at them.
Yeah.
Everyone is like, you know, and
Mm.
it's like it must be hard to be that
Mm.
person. It must,
Yeah.
and so you want people to treat you normal, and you want people to respect you, but work and let you and make you have fun. And I think we created an environment for him to shine.
Yeah.
And obviously that was his movie for
Mm.
that, and I think
Mm-hmm.
Gavin encapsulated very well that
Mm.
moment of his life
Yeah.
in that movie, and obviously being so close to his personal story also gave a different level
Yeah.
of to the movie that it's also makes it one more level one more step deeper or profound on what it is so
I completely agree. You can you definitely feel it. I liked what you touched on about how the preconceived ideas of a lot of these actors, and they like to break that sometimes. But for a lot of people who probably everyone knows who Ben Affleck is, but they won't have ever seen him in a role like this really, because before obviously through the 2010s, so to speak, he was Batman for a lot of it, and he was doing these blockbusters. And I love how you've made, well, you, Gavin, Ben, all them people, that you've made it into, as you said, not a Hollywood glossy film, but a almost a not so grainy, but a deeply personal story that it's just focusing on the story. If you get what I mean, it's not about um, as you said, the Hollywood gloss. It's about this person, what's happened in his life, and you all captured that, and it's captured brilliantly on film.
it's a character study at the end of
Yeah.
the day. I always love those movies that are one character and you get into their psyche and you get into their heads and you get into the way they feel and touch stuff and that's always the movies I always wanted to do, and I'm always more connected to
Yeah.
so I hope I can be doing more of those
Yeah.